Hello, I am Dr. Helen Easterling Williams, delighted to serve as the Dean of the Graduate School of Education and Psychology at Pepperdine University. Today, I am thrilled to introduce you to a new member of the Pepperdine family. New, but not so new. We'll get to that later. But first, let me introduce you to Dr. Renee Dorn. Dr. Dorn, welcome to Pepperdine.
Well, thank you. I'm, I'm thrilled to be here.
And we're thrilled to have you with
Yes,
us as a
yes,
member of the GSEP family.
yes.
In my introduction, I referred to the fact that you are not so new to our family. Uh, for the viewing audience, will you
Right.
explain that comment, please?
Well, that is true. I'm not new to GSEP,
Mm.
mainly because I am a GSEP alum.
Mm.
I am a graduate of the EDOL program, so I have my doctorate in education for organizational leadership.
Okay.
Yes, I
Uh-huh.
graduated in 2013.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not new to GSEP because I'm an alum,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm proud to be part of the staff now.
Yes, and once again,
Yes.
we're proud to have you. I know that you attempted to become part of the staff several times. Tell
Yes.
us about your journey to GSEP.
Well, with as as far as becoming a part of the staff or just coming into being a part
Whatever
of.
you'd like to share.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm. Let me start by saying I'm from Southern California.
Ah,
From Southern California.
California
Yes, from Southern
lady.
California. I grew up out here.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up out here, of course, I went to school in Los Angeles, went to Marlboro for junior high school.
Okay.
Uh, High school, I was at Beverly Hills High School. That's where I graduated from.
90210.
90210.
Okay.
I loved high school, loved high school. While I was there, I was involved in the performing arts.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in their theater arts workshop.
I see.
I had to audition actually for that.
Mm.
And I was in that for 2 years for my junior and senior year.
Okay.
Performed in plays and musicals while I was there. So I really enjoyed theater and acting and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was time to graduate and go off to college, my parents were saying, you need to get your education. You can hold off on the entertainment part.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So
The obedient daughter.
that's right. That's right. So I got my education. I left
Mm-hmm.
California and went to Texas.
Texas.
Yes, went to Texas, and I attended Prairie View A&M University.
Okay.
Yes, and actually, I'm a third generation Prairie View.
I did not know that.
Yes, my mother went to Prairie View, and my grandfather
Oh
went
my
to Prairie
goodness.
View.
Legacy for sure.
Legacy,
Deep roots.
yes, yes. So actually, my sister and I were there together
Mm.
at Prairie View.
Mm.
And so I received my bachelor's in business
Okay.
and then my master's in business, both from Prairie View.
All right.
I left there and I got a job in Florida working for GE
We're in Florida.
in Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
I was in Fort
Right.
Myers, Florida.
Beach town.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And I was there for a year and I said, I need more education.
Ah.
I need more education. I was working in fixed assets
Mm-hmm.
for the company, and I said, I need more. I need more. So I left Florida and then went back to Texas
Okay.
and went to law school. And I went to Texas Southern University, Thurgood Marshall School of Law.
Oh, wow.
And I received my Juris Doctor and left there. And I said, okay, now it's time for me to look for a job. And that brought me back to California.
You came back home.
I came back home, came back to California, Southern California, and I started working with nonprofits.
I see.
And I did that for a while and teaching. So at that time, I was teaching business.
Okay.
So I was working in the community colleges, teaching at two different locations.
I see.
And then I started working at El Camino College.
Mhm.
And I worked there for several years. And then they were having layoffs
Yes. It
during,
always happens.
yes, they
It
were having
always
layoffs,
happens.
and I got caught up in that.
Uh-huh.
And during that time, my parents said, well, during this time, why don't you get another doctorate?
Oh my. Oh my.
And so that's how I got to Pepperdine. And I looked at different programs. And because I said I wasn't going to leave the state again, I was going to stay in
Yes.
California. And I looked at different programs, and I saw Pepperdine's EDOL program. And when I looked at everything that I would have to study and even learning about the trips that I would end up taking, and I said, this is the program. I didn't apply anywhere else.
Oh my.
Yeah, I said, no, Pepperdine is it. And so I got accepted into the program, and I loved it. I loved it. And some people in the program, they knew that I went to law school.
Right.
And so they asked me, so what was the difference being in a doctoral program for law and being in this doctoral program for education? And I said, the EDOL program was so collaborative. We got along so well. My cohort was wonderful. I loved my cohort. And we still, to this day, I graduated in 2013, and even to this day, we still get together during the holidays every year.
Special bonds are made in the doctoral program.
It is. That's very, very true. I love talking to them on a regular basis, so that's why we stay in touch. It's been wonderful, wonderful. So I guess that's sort of how I got to Pepperdine. And then you asked about me, I guess, trying that.
Yes. As you have come into the GSEP fold, you've come in as our Director of
Yes.
Alumni Relations.
That's true.
Now,
Yes.
that fits you extremely well. Share with the viewers how it is that Alumni Relations is your bag.
Well, now I mentioned that I graduated from Prairie View A&M University.
Yes.
Now, when I came back to California, I started working with the local alumni chapter.
I see.
And I've been working with that chapter for 18 years.
Oh.
18 years. So I've been secretary, I've been vice president and president of the chapter. I've worked with the National Alumni Association. I've been the chair or co-chair of 2 conventions that we've had here. And I'm constantly working with the National Alumni Association. So when this position became open for Director of Alumni Relations, I thought, well, wait a second. I have a little connection with Pepperdine, with GSEP, and I have some experience with alumni relations. Maybe I should go ahead and apply for this position. And I was thrilled to be selected.
As God would have
That's
it.
right.
Well, we are delighted that you applied.
Yes.
You went through that process, and here you sit.
Yes, here
with
I
all
sit.
that experience, with all that training.
Yes.
You bring that back home.
That's right.
To Pepperdine.
That's
so
right.
that we can benefit from all of that.
Absolutely.
We're grateful. We're really grateful.
I'm thrilled.
So tell us, I want to dig a little deeper.
Oh boy.
And find out a little more about what you would do in your free time. Not that you have free time.
Oh my goodness.
But what you like to do. What is it that jazzes you? If you had a whole day just to spend on something that brings you great pleasure, what would that be?
Oh my goodness. Okay, a whole day. That means I have a whole lot of time to do things. So shopping has to be in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
Have to do some shopping.
Some shopping.
But
Shoes, handbags,
oh, shoes!
or all of it?
Shoes are a must.
Shoes are a
Shoes
must.
are a must. Got to go shopping for shoes, absolutely. But I probably would be with my mother doing all of that shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely with my mother.
Yes.
Yes. But on the side, also, I have also I'll do a little voiceover every so often when I get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, I had mentioned when I was in high school, I liked acting and all of
Yes.
that. So I guess many, many years later, I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, I've done all my education. My
Yes.
parents said, get my education. I did that. So now I'm going back a little bit to the entertainment.
I see.
So I like doing that when I get a chance to.
Uh-huh.
And and I've done some voiceover here and there, commercial or two,
Mm-hmm.
some promos here and there as
Ah,
well, in addition to podcasts and radio show.
radio show. Tell us about the radio
Yes,
show.
yes, and well, actually, the radio show was a concept created by another not Prairie View, Pepperdine alum,
Of course. Of
Pepperdine
course.
alum from the EDOL program.
Uh-huh.
And his name is Jeremy Gray.
I see.
And he used to be in radio many, many years.
Yes.
And so he said, maybe that's something that he should get back into. And that's what he
Mm-hmm.
did. And so he started a radio show called Strictly Business Show with Dr. J. That's what
Okay.
it's called. And at the time when he was telling me about it, I said, oh, well, if you have this radio show, here is my demo for commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever need someone to do any kind of voiceover for
I
commercials,
see.
let me send you my demo.
You have a demo.
I have a demo.
Excuse
That's
me.
right. I was prepared. I was prepared. So I sent him my demo and he listened to it. And then he called me and he said, Renee, who was this on the demo that you sent me? And I said, that was me on the demo. He said, that didn't sound anything like you.
Oh,
That sounded nothing
your
like you.
professional voice.
It was very different.
Oh.
Very different for radio. For
Mhm.
radio. And so he said, I don't necessarily want you to do commercials. I want you to be on the show.
Oh my.
I said, oh,
Elevation.
okay.
Elevation, just like that.
Yes, yes. So at first, I was on the radio show for maybe a couple of episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but they were taping out in Rancho Cucamonga,
I see.
which is a little far from our West LA
Yes.
campus. And so I was only able to do maybe a couple shows at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he moved the show to Burbank, to
Okay.
Rick D's studios, then I said, I can do the show because that's a little bit closer.
Right, right.
So then I was on the show more regularly over there. So, and then we did a 24-hour show.
Oh my,
Yes.
marathon.
That was a marathon. It was. And we had different people to come on the show, such as
Mhm.
Judge Kevin Ross, from the TV
Okay.
show America's Court. We had him come on the show. We had some people call in.
Mhm.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters was able to
Okay.
call in. So that was wonderful.
Yes.
That was wonderful. And then we had different people, financial planners to come in and talk. So the radio show was going great. It's
Mhm.
going great. But then we had to move the radio show to a different location, much further out again.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I don't know about making that drive, but if you need me, I'm always available.
Yes, the
Oh,
voice.
That's right.
Got to keep that voice.
That's right. Got to keep that voice.
Wonderful. So tell me, growing up as a little girl in the Los Angeles area,
Yes.
I'm interested in things that inspired you, that pushed you,
Oh,
that
my.
that you would hearken back to when you hit a rough spot,
Oh, boy.
that would
Okay.
encourage your spirit and say, "Yeah, I can do this."
Well,
What would that be?
I'll say first, my parents.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been an inspiration to me, always have been. And then my faith. Because
All right now.
I'll say this, whenever I felt that I was going through a rough patch at any time, I would always get down on my knees and pray.
Uh-huh.
I would always do that. I still do that. just praying and say, Lord, please help me to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
I, you know what direction you want me to go in. Please guide me.
Yes.
And so that's what I do.
Uh-huh.
That's what I do.
You speak of your parents, and I admire the closeness with which
Yes.
I am. You're speaking of them. I can tell how close you are. In
Yes.
fact, I know how close you are. And I know that your father, in particular, is a very prominent man in the
Yes.
Los Angeles area. You want to share a little of
Ah,
that for the viewing
sure.
audience?
Sure. My father, I'll just say he started out as an attorney
Mm-hmm.
in the criminal courts of Los Angeles, working in
Yes.
the criminal courts. He became a judge, a municipal court judge, then a superior court judge.
Uh-huh.
And then, and he was a judge for about 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became, because he said he didn't feel that there was any more that he could do as a judge. He was in the criminal courts for the adults and juvenile.
Oh my.
And juvenile. And he felt that that was as far as he could go in order to help people in that arena.
Yes.
And so his next step was to run for mayor. So he was the mayor of the city of Inglewood for, I think, about 12 years.
My.
About 12 years. Yeah, so I grew up around law and politics.
Yes.
And so I've been around it really most of my life.
Law and politics.
Law and politics, that's
so
right.
what advice would you give to a student coming out of high school,
Okay.
looking to go to college?
Yes.
What piece of advice would you share with them that they could take on through their future that might fuel them, inspire them, invigorate them as they hit rough spots in life?
Well, if you're looking to go to college, I'd say the first thing to do is think about exactly what is it that you want to do? What is it that you are passionate about? What are your interests? And then look for those colleges, universities that can help you fuel those interests, that can give you more education in the area that you may be interested in. And then set a plan for yourself to see, so that you can see where you want to go with that passion, with that interest. And I think that's a good start.
I would agree. I would agree. Finally, I would ask you to look into that camera.
Oh no.
And send a message to our Pepperdine GSEP alums.
Okay.
You know, just a little word or two to our alums.
Okay. Well, to the Pepperdine GSEP alums, my name is Dr. Renee Dorn, and I welcome you to become a part of our GSEP alumni family and participate in many events that we have coming up within the next year. I have a GSEP event committee that I would love for you to be a part of, and there's so many things that you can participate in. And I would love for you to contact me and to be a part of the many things that GSEP has to offer in order to help students and possibly help you in return. So if you'd love to become a part of our GSEP alumni family and work with me, please contact me at 310-568-5510 or renee.dorn@pepperdine.edu. And I would love to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Pepperdine. Thank you for sharing the good news of our EDOL program. And thank you for giving back to GSEP by being a member of the GSEP family.
Oh, absolutely.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.